In the headlines, Governor Matawalle promises to secure release of Zamfara abducted college students. Police arrest 13 more suspects linked to Plateau killings. Army says 219 Boko Haram fighters surrender in 2 days. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Dashan Hussaina Usman. For more news, connect with us on our social media platforms. Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle has promised to secure the release of victims of the latest abduction by bandits in the state. In a statement by his spokesman, Yusuf Gusau, he condemned the attack on the College of Agriculture and Animal Science, Bakura. According to the governor, state government has continued to strengthen efforts of providing security to all schools across the state since the abduction of the schoolgirls in Jengebe. He commended the immediate action of the security agencies to launch search and rescue strategies to ensure the safe return of abducted students and staff still in captivity. The governor appealed to residents of the state to remain calm, saying the government was taking all the necessary steps to restore normalcy in the area. Matawalle also called on the people to intensify prayers for an end to all criminal activities in the state and the nation at large. He extended his condolences to families of those killed by the bandits, including a policeman and 2 civilian security guards during the attack. Reports say bandits attacked Kauru and Zangwankataf local government areas of Kaduna State, where at least 11 people lost their lives in separate attacks. Our correspondent Fatima Saliladan tells us more.
Reports from southern Kaduna says there were attacks by unknown gunmen that took place in Goregida, a community in Atiap Chiefdom that's in Zangwankataf local government area of the state. In that attack, 3 people were said to be killed and another sustained various degrees of injuries. This is coming barely 24 hours where such attack by bandits took place in Madame village, that's in Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. In Kauru attack, at least 9 people were said to be killed. Various cars and houses were also set ablaze. Earlier today, the acting governor of Kaduna State, Hajia Sabwa Hadiza Balarabe, condemned the attack, and she also appealed to the people to be calm as the state government will do everything in its power to bring the perpetrators to book. She said investigations are already ongoing. Southern Kaduna is one of the parts that is being bedfilled by incessant attacks and insecurity going on in the area.
13 more suspects have been arrested for their alleged involvement in the weekend killings in Plateau State. The force public relations officer, Frank Mba, confirmed this in a statement. He said 33 people have been arrested so far in connection with the incident. He said the head of the police intervention team, DIG Sanusi Lemu, is already in Plateau, coordinating police investigative, operational, and peace-building response. Mba added that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered the deployment of additional operational assets in the state as part of ongoing coordinated efforts at restoring public order in Rukuba and its environs. A police surveillance helicopter, 2 units of police mobile force, and 2 cells of counter-terrorism units were among the assets deployed to Plateau State by the police chief. The Nigerian army says 219 more Boko Haram fighters and children have surrendered to troops in the northeast region of the state. Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, who disclosed this in a statement, saying the success was recorded over the weekend in Borno State. Nwachukwu explained that this success followed the recent massive surrendering of Boko Haram terrorists in Bama operational area on August 2 and 4. He stated that there has been confusion and severe apprehension in the camps of the Islamic State of West Africa province, especially among its top-ranking commanders, over the depleting strength of its members, which he said has drastically dwindled their overall fighting efficiency. He said the military remained resolute in intensifying both kinetic and non-kinetic efforts in the fight against insurgency, banditry, and sundry crimes in this country. Officials have recorded the body of youth leader of the All Progressives Congress in Ebonyi, Ogochukwu Elem, from a mining pit in the state. The remains of 2 policemen traveling with late Elem were also retrieved from the scene on Monday, 2 days after a vehicle conveying the victims plunged into the pit. They were pulled out by rescue officials and local divers supported with a crane provided by the Ebonyi State Ministry of Infrastructure during an exercise supervised by Governor David Umahi. While addressing reporters at the scene where the bodies were recovered, Governor Umahi mourned the victims and condemned the activities of miners. He decried the indiscriminate digging of mining pits, which he said is endangering the lives of the people and causing destruction to the environment. Trust TV had reported that the accident occurred on Saturday at the Eyigba-Izi community axis of Abakaliki-Iko Expressway in Abakaliki local government area of the state. 918 corps members deployed to Borno State for the mandatory one-year National Youth Service Scheme have concluded 3 weeks orientation exercise at NYC temporary camp in Katsina State. The camp is located inside Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps College of Peace and Disaster Management, Babaruga, Katsina State. On completion of the orientation exercise, the corps members will return to Borno for primary assignment postings.
Then got 6 with their commander, Silvat Nander and 2 supply commanders, 5 Abigail and
You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, Nigeria records 8,197 COVID-19 infections in 5 days. Do stay.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana kabi da jeje.
Aminu Musa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Let's take a look at our top stories. Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle has promised to secure the release of victims of the latest abduction by bandits in the state. 13 more suspects have been arrested for their alleged involvement in the weekend killings in Plateau State. Still in the news, Nigeria has recorded 8,179 COVID-19 infections in 15 days. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control said on its website on Tuesday. It says the country confirmed 584 additional infections on Monday from the 541 recorded on Sunday, bringing the total cases to 183,087. The NCDC noted that with 584 additional infections reported on Monday, the country had reported 8,179 cases in 15 days since the strike commenced on August 2. It said a multi-sectoral National Emergency Operations Center, activated at Level 2, continued to coordinate the national response activities. The NCDC said a total of 178 people had recovered and were discharged from various isolation centers in the country on Monday, with total recoveries nationwide since the onset of the pandemic clocking 167,310. Nigeria is faced with a large problem of unemployment among its teeming youth. Yet, Nigeria's 308 degree awarding institutions, comprising of 134 polytechnics and 174 universities, have an enrollment population of about 2 million and produce about 600,000 graduates yearly. Chijoke Okafo brings us the report.
According to the recent labor force report published by the National Bureau of Statistics, as of 2021, about 33.3% of Nigeria's population are unemployed. This figure is projected to increase further in 2022. The increase in the unemployment rate figures can be attributed to the after effect of the COVID-19 induced lockdown, which caused many organizations to reduce their workforce to cope amidst the pandemic. But not all Nigerians think this is enough reason for the high rate of unemployment in the country, stating that the problem has been present from time immemorial.
The problem is that, these days government, says that there's no job for the youth. So the only thing we need to do as a youth is just, you have to go out there and create something for yourself, you understand, and do. You need to be innovative and be creative, you understand, because, these days now, no job, see people after graduating, no job like that. No, the only thing we have to do is that we are soliciting, begging government to create an enabling environment for the youth.
Unemployment. I don't go to school well, so this one I be my own school where I go now. So just as I told you for the beginning, if government can help me small, so that at least like those my boy they reach like 4 or 5 before.
Unemployment is not just a Nigerian problem.
Stanley Innocent, a workplace coach and manager at a construction site, attributes the spike in poverty and unemployment to the inability of young people to look beyond white-collar jobs.
We have young people who are coming out of school, graduates from universities, polytechnics, colleges of education and all of that. And I think the number is very alarming and teeming, because at the end of the day, we're talking about them looking for white-collar jobs. The question is, these jobs, do they exist?
He further explains that there are endless opportunities in different sectors of the economy that can be tapped into and fully utilized for the benefit of those who are willing to go the extra mile.
I think we should come to a point, even though we should hold our government responsible and accountable, we should come to a point where all of the responsibility is not just on the government. Okay, the government can't do everything for everybody in the country. Come on, we're talking about over 200 million Nigerians. If our statistics is correct, how can the government fend for everybody? So we should come to a point where individuals should become responsible for themselves and also offer leadership to other persons.
In the next 5 years, the number of degree awarding institutions may double, and up to 1 million graduates may be added to the unemployment queue. It can be agreed upon then that the best way to prevent unemployment is to improve your skills constantly and think of alternative means of self-employment. Chijoke Okafo, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Waste generation in Nigeria is on the increase due to the rise in population resulting from the techno-economic development in cities and the pattern of production and consumption of materials. Waste management business in Kaduna State has been described by many as a trade that will aid in permeating the unemployment gap among the youths. Our correspondent, Fatima Saliladan, has the report.
Unemployment and poverty are two of the major issues currently affecting the country's economy and its society. Nigeria is ranked number 3 position among countries with the highest number of unemployed people in the world, mostly women and youths. According to data from the World Poverty Clock, the number of people living in extreme poverty in Nigeria rose from 86.9 million in 2018 to 93.7 million in 2019. Thus, Nigeria stands as the nation with the highest number of people living in extreme poverty across the world. but what could help to change the narrative and improve the situation in curbing unemployment and poverty in Nigeria? One is the recycling of waste business, which entails recycling of waste plastics to useful products. This is a business that has been looked down upon due to its nature, but has utmost use to the society and environment. What is seen as refuse posing a great threat to the environment, which in most cases causes blockage of drainage systems, thereby resulting to flood, most especially in this raining season. Plastic Integrated Recycling Company is one among the just few that have embarked on the plastic waste business. Faisal Hassan Suleiman tells us more about the waste business.
As you can see from our collection center, you can see the pile of waste plastic materials. These plastic materials are collected from different areas across the state. We have collection units, we have workers all around who go around collect those waste from gutters, from rubbish bins across households and the rest. So they gather them, they transport them over here, and we weigh them and crush and convert them into useful materials. So,
with the strength of over 50 workers, mostly women and young boys, who engages in the collection and selection of different types of plastics based on identifying and placing them according to colors. One of the youths who engages in this business tells us more.
So da dogaro da kaina. So da gaskiya na ce zan zauna haka ko ni kana kaina ina da wani bukatu na karan kaina da zan yi wa kaina ba sai na jira an mun ba.
Madam Esther Ayuba says she is proud of what she does as a woman to earn a living.
Honestly, I'm very happy. Honestly, I'm very happy between man and God, because it helped me. It helped me. Even last time I pay my children's school fees, I pay my daughter NECO through this work. And then I do assist my husband. One or two things in the family. So I really enjoy this work and I'm doing it happily. I really enjoy it, assist us. It's not only me, but all the women, according to the women that I'm working with them here, really the work is helping us.
With more people chipping into these types of businesses, there are hopes that the employment rate in Nigeria will rise constantly in the coming years. Fatima Saleh Laden, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari says he will be leaving the education sector of the state better than he met it as governor in 2015. The governor said this when he appeared on the News Agency of Nigeria flagship program, NAN Forum, at the weekend in Katsina. Masari said his achievements in other areas like agriculture, health, water and infrastructure development driven by his restoration agenda in the last 6 years were unprecedented in the modern history of Katsina State. The governor also dispelled insinuations that he may seek higher political office at the end of his second term in office in 2023, saying he desires to support the younger generation to assume positions of leadership.
Significant improvement in the performance of external examinations, which is a yardstick for us to assess whether our restoration agenda in education is working or not. And we believe it is doing, because when we came, the totality of pupils that sit for exam in Kaduna State, in WAEC, the maximum they were having was 11%. In NECON, the maximum we recorded was 20%. That was going back, if you take the average of 2007 up to 2014 when we came. 15, even 15. I am not contesting for any office, either of the party or government. Like you rightly said, I was in the National Assembly as Speaker. So why should I go back to National Assembly to do what? Sure. In the party, I was Deputy National Chairman of APC North. What will I go back to the party to do?
Still in Katsina State, Governor Aminu Bello Masari has advised his colleague state governors to look away from money generated from crude oil to sustain the economy of their respective states. Masari gave the warning at the weekend in an exclusive interview in Katsina. He advised the governors to tap into the numerous natural and human resources or resource potentials of their states to meet the yearnings of Nigerians for the dividends of democracy.
We'll have to start looking inwards to see how can we depend more on ourselves than the single reliance on one commodity, that is oil, which we don't determine its price, we don't determine its consumption. You can safely say in an area which we have no control, to go back to those areas that we have control. Because between 2014, especially by the time we came in 2015, progressively the price of oil continued to go down and down. I could remember by 2017, around November, December, dropped to $27 per barrel.
In business, the African Development Bank has reached a close on financing agreements for a $20 million concessional investment from the Sustainable Energy Fund for Africa for the COVID-19 Off-Grid Recovery Platform. In a statement from the AFDB, the concessional loan agreements were signed following approval by the Board of Directors of the bank in December 2020 for the $20 million concessional investment from CEFA to establish the platform. The agreements were signed with fund managers, Lions Head Global Partners, Triple Jump, and social investment managers and advisors. Harry Guinness, Managing Director of Grid Energy Access Fund, part of the wider Facility for Energy Inclusion, expressed gratitude for the support from the AFDB. On the foreign scene, evacuation flights from Afghanistan have resumed a day after the Taliban's military takeover raised panic in Kabul and thousands mobbed the city's international airport in a desperate attempt to flee. A Western security official told the Reuters news agency on Tuesday that the Kabul airport's tarmac and runway, which troops from the United States control, are now clear of crowds. The officials said military flights evacuating diplomats and civilians from Afghanistan have started taking off. At least 7 people died in Monday's chaos, including several people who clung to the sides of a jet as it took off. In sports news, Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants the club to tie down 5 players to new and improved contracts, the UK Sun reports. The Norwegian feels players like Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw should get pay rises. Solskjaer is also optimistic that Paul Pogba, who signed an extension with United, the Man U boss wants the core group of players to be on similar wages to protect dressing room harmony. On a sad note, former Deputy Senate President Ibrahim Mantu is dead. Family sources confirmed the incident. Mantu died in a private hospital in Abuja in the early hours of Tuesday after falling ill. The deceased was elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party in 1999 to represent Plateau Central Senatorial District in the National Assembly. He gathered political relevance in national politics after emerging as the Deputy Senate President in 2003, a tenure that lasted for 4 years. With that, we wrap up the news update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.